What is up, everybody? This is Mark the Mike, and this is another Wrestling Babble podcast by Wrestling. I'm Mark the Mike. I'm joined by Louis Beans.
What is up? What is up?
And we have tons of wrestling this week, and I'm not bullshitting because we have Wrestle Kingdom 17. We had a special of AEW, so they had 2 hours of AEW on Friday. I watched most of it. I even watched the Stardom special that they had yesterday morning, so I watched a lot of wrestling this week.
Sacrifices had to be made.
That's
all I gotta
fine.
say.
I felt like I wish I sacrificed some of these episodes, but we'll see. So as we always start off, we go right to the wrestling retrospect, and I picked Bo Dallas last week because of Uncle Stanky, which we all think he may be one of them. Looking at you, Bo. So I have a couple of people at work that call that listen to the cast, and I think we're slowly confusing people with Uncle Howdy to be calling Uncle Stinky.
Good,
Yeah.
good. He looks stinky.
There you go. So Uncle Stanky, Bo Dallas. My first match is one that the New Day I think actually talked about on their podcast, and it was the one time that Xavier Woods gear, so the storyline Xavier Woods gear was stolen, so he had to wear the onesie that Big E wears.
Okay.
And so in this match, you see him with the onesie that Big E wears. This is a fucking great match. I actually really enjoy this one. This was actually on main event, and this was on New Day versus the Social Outcasts, which Bo Dallas was a group with Heath Slater and Curtis Axel and Adam Rose, to believe. This match was July 17th, 2016, and this one was Big E and Kofi as a tag team. Xavier Woods was outside the ring, but they actually all three of them wrestled. I think it was a 6-man tag, and you see Xavier Woods in the onesie that Big E wears because he always carries a second onesie. It was a whole promo and things like that, and they had a back and forth promo before the match. It was a lot of fun, very, very funny, and very good laughs out of that. So definitely check that out. I posted that on the Wrestling Babble page, so definitely if you want to check it out on our Facebook page.
Yes, sir. And speaking of Woods, the first match I picked was Bo Dallas versus Xavier Woods. Now I see they fought a bunch of times. I picked the one from SmackDown,
Yeah.
5/30, 14. This one is. See, I did not know there was a period where Woods was on the main shows, and then they mentioned NXT in this
Yes.
match. That he was there. He graduated from NXT. They very much talk about Bo being former champion, and like he's pretty much the star of the show,
Yeah.
like of this match. It's got JBL on commentary, and he's behind him, which means he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. If JBL's rooting for you, you ain't good.
Yeah.
And the match was again the thing I noticed about these matches, most of them from this period was that they were mostly short, but they were like had story significance towards his character, I guess.
Yeah.
So this one kind of has a little bit, but it's more with the commentary. So
Yeah.
it was quick, and it was competitive. Man, Woods got his stuff in. It looks
Yes.
just about the same as before.
Yeah. This one.
I like the color of his gear though. It looks almost like AJ.
Oh, okay.
It's black and red with the white, like the red and white trim on it.
Yeah, that's when he was best friends with R-Truth again.
Okay.
He got debuted in the main roster as R-Truth's son again, and he stole Brodus Killay's theme music.
I did not. So he didn't have an intro in this one. Okay.
Yeah,
Understood.
Yeah. So he had like the theme music of his. Yeah. My next Bo Dallas match was. Oh, this was fun. This was also brother versus brother in a way. The B team versus the Deleter Worlds Raw July 23rd, 2018. This is Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. This is when they were the B team. This is when they were with Miz at the time, and they fought Bray Wyatt and the Broken Matt Hardy, and it was a very entertaining and very funny match. And there's also brother versus brother in this match as well.
Do they have a history of fighting each other or being on the same
They
side?
tag
Or
teamed
no?
a couple times too. They
They
tag
did.
teamed like FCW and NXT.
Okay, but not on the main,
No,
like
they
Raw,
never tag team on the
SmackDown.
main roster.
Did they have like a rivalry on the main shows or no?
That was probably one of the few. That
One
was
of the
probably
few.
one of
Okay,
the main
okay,
ones. Yeah.
okay. Gotcha. So let's see. Number 2. And this one had more story than the first one. It is Bo Dallas versus Fandango.
Yeah.
And this is June 20th, 2014. So it's the same time period, but I had to pick it because the boy Dango was in it.
Mhm.
And so this one had a story with he's got troubles in the backstage with what's that lady's name? I don't even know her real name for some reason. Summer Rae.
Okay.
And then there was a girl that was in the dressing room and Summer Rae was kissing him and then she ran away and then the other girl came out. I don't know the other girl. I think her name is Layla.
Layla, the Swan one. They cool.
Brown,
Yeah.
that's brunette,
Yeah.
short. Okay.
Layla.
Now, I'm not familiar with her at all because, again, this period I was not watching wrestling.
Layla was okay. She was a double champion with Undertaker's wife during their time.
I'm cool. Okay. Gotcha.
They had like
Uh,
a group called Lay Cool, which was her and Layla.
okay. I've heard of it before. All right. I have not seen it. So the match starts, or right before it starts, Summer Rae comes out and starts dancing. It's just ridiculous. Like she's mad late, comes into the ring, starts dancing. Dango didn't even take his vest off, so he's distracted. Then the other girl comes in, and then it's a cat fight, right? Spills into the ring. Dango gets kicked in the head. The match starts. Bo catches him with his what do you even call that?
Dude.
His finisher, like he off the ropes, the
Oh,
bulldog.
he did the
He has a
Strash
name for
Faction
it,
for some reason.
but he didn't call it that, right?
No, he didn't call it it, but it was like the Strash Faction.
Okay, yeah. So he basically hits his move and takes advantage of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then after that happens, then I see it's a recurring theme at that point is that he gives the person a hug when he wins.
Yeah.
So he
He,
pats him on the back and then gives him a hug, and Dango doesn't want no part
yeah.
of it. But there is not a wrestling match. The dude just gets caught.
Yeah.
I thought was funny. Is
So,
that a theme of his character where stuff just shenanigans just happens and sometimes he just takes the win?
oh, he just takes advantage of it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was times that there's matches that lasted like 3 or 4 seconds, and he took advantage of it.
Okay, well, yeah. So I just saw
So
one.
Bo
Pretty.
Dallas's character was like he was like an inspirational speaker, but he wanted you to believe in him, and he always came out to believe. I think he was better in NXT with it because he had arguments with the crowds, and he was like, "I gave you cookies, I gave you." He actually bought cookies for the crowd and shit, and they just booed him, and he got pissed off by it.
One thing I noticed here is that they have there's a thing they carry from, I guess, NXT, the section.
Yeah,
So there's the Bo section.
yeah,
But his face looks like the Fiend,
mhm,
which I think is kind of cool
yeah,
and kind of creepy.
yeah,
His smiling face like that.
mhm.
I was like, what is that? Looks like the Fiend's face. But
If you look at the bottom of his mouth, that's a fucking uncle. That's Uncle Stanky right there.
yeah, I guess I have to look at the picture people keep putting up, but
Yeah.
I was just like, that looks like the Fiend. That's crazy.
My last match, I am debating on which one I want to put up, but I'm just gonna go this one because this was a big highlight in his career. This was his first. This was his NXT Championship win. He beat Big E for the NXT Championship. This was February 25th, 2014, and this was on NXT TV. He beat Big E for the NXT Championship. So during this time, Big E was called up to the main roster. He was kind of doing, um, the partnership with Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee. So he had to come and drop the title, but he dropped the title in a great way. He gave a hell of a match with Bo Dallas, and it was a very fun match, and definitely check that out. And it was one of his big title wins, so I was shout that one out. The other one was
Gotcha.
El Torito because I just wanted to highlight El Torito. But yeah, that's my third one.
So the last one I picked was put up not by WWE. This one is Coast to Coast Designs. It's the only place I've seen this pop up. It is Seth Rollins versus Bo Dallas versus Antonio Cesaro versus Cassius Ohno.
Yeah,
And
I
this one
forgot
is
his
a
name was El
two-parter.
Torito.
It's a two-parter. So it's split up. You gotta check out their channel. And it's from 6/20, 2012. And this one is obviously it's a four-way match, but for some reason, now you can clarify. I wasn't watching at this point, and of course I couldn't see this period anyway. Is that a thing of Cesaro and Cassius Ohno being a tag team?
They were a tag team in ROH.
Okay,
They were known as a tag team, yeah.
so in this match, it is basically 2-on-1. So they tag team on everybody else basically in this match. You know,
Okay.
it's the classic thing. Sometimes they bump into each other or hit
Yeah,
each other and they go, "Hey, what are you doing?" But for the most part, it is that tag team, and they are destroying Seth Rollins. Yo, he gets his ass kicked. Yeah, man, Cassius Ohno was vicious in this match. I don't know if that was his style, but like he was like a crab man, and he was just doing mean things, like completely different from when I saw him in NXT. Um, like he's headbutting Seth in the side of his body. I'm like, well, who does that to a man? Why do you do what? Like drops him off the side of the top of the turnbuckle, like just me. And then they constantly do this thing where they kick the other man out and beat up on one guy, but Bo steals it. So
nice.
it's crazy.
Yep. You
So
better
there you go.
believe.
Yes, sir.
That was one of my favorite things. Shout outs to Minion's wife, Emily. She's like the biggest Bo Dallas fan. So every time he came out, she was extremely excited.
Mm-hmm.
She was a big Bo Dallas fan. All right, we go into the weekend wrestling. The next the next wrestler we will pick for the wrestling retrospect will be at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. We kick off with Monday Night Raw, which was actually a show because last week there was no Raw, which was great because it gave me a little break. It was a recap, and I was like, I ain't watching that. Um, so we kick off with the Bloodline again, wreaking havoc at Monday Night Raw.
Whooping people's ass, throwing chairs like savages. What's going on, man? How dare they?
How y'all let this happen 2 days, 2 nights, 2 weeks in a row?
I mean, who's gonna stop them?
They
Everybody
have more
getting beat up.
people. They have the numbers.
You gonna fight solo? I don't know about that.
I will say straight up, you got Otis, you got Bronson Reed somewhere back there. You
Well,
can
they're
have him
bad guys.
sandwich his
They
ass.
don't care.
They could sandwich his ass.
They don't care. Bad guys don't care.
I would love to
It was.
see Otis and Bronson Reed become the new natural disasters with Gable on their side.
I mean, that'd be cool, but I wouldn't want Gable to not wrestle.
I
So
will
he's
say
better.
that he'll be the person that would just suplex people and help them win.
Mm.
I want Gable to actually have a singles title. That's why that too.
Yeah.
So if that could lead to him getting a singles title and them just being there as the natural disasters, I'm for that too.
Yes, sir.
And they could be a tag team as well.
But I will say the consistency is here, though. There was no bad guys in the ring.
Yeah. That's all
Except
good guys.
Elias. I don't know. You can't trust him.
I don't trust Elias. Seltzer Benjamin is iffy. He's a guy. He's there.
That's,
But yeah, some of the Hurt Business is there. And there was some Easter
there's
eggs.
no more. There's no
Yeah.
more hurt business.
The ouchie business. Because there's only
no
two
more
of them.
hurt business.
But again, I have a feeling there's gonna be consequences for the Bloodline doing what they're doing on Raw, and I might affect Roman Reigns eventually.
Well, you see, what's his name? He was angry.
Mm-hmm.
There was consequences on the same show, so it continues.
Yes. So I have a feeling they
Which was
keep doing that shit, and he's gonna go off and like, you know what? That WWE title that belongs here, and you know what? If you don't defend it here, you're gonna take it from you.
how many months does it take for each authority figure to put that rule into effect? Because it keeps that happens.
No,
Always happens.
yeah, they don't follow through. We got Alexa Bliss versus Bianca Belair. Ended in DQ because Alexa Bliss snapped because she saw the Uncle Stinky sign, and she attacked the referee, and then she attacked Bianca Belair. I laughed my ass off when she attacked the ref.
It was a good match because it was a domination by Bianca, which I
Yeah,
thought was like that makes sense. Because you know what? Finally, somebody stopped pretending that she is not bigger than everybody else.
yeah.
That's my main issue with certain people.
Hmm.
Like it looks funny when Rhea's got a self. Is all I'm saying. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
There's certain times like you gotta catch the big girls off guard, which
yeah,
I think it makes sense because she just went crazy,
yeah.
and so that I like the whole thing.
I saw the little hiccups here and there, but it didn't take me off the match. I did love the little homage to scary movie they did. Cause you know for a fact
Hmm.
they probably saw that in the fucking air on the way there because it was too connected to a scary movie, that whole
True,
scene.
true.
But I
Also, I'd
enjoyed,
like to
yeah,
say on the replays, they Bianca's boo boo, they changed the color to black and white
yeah,
still. So she got what she call that from Grand Theft Auto? She got wasted at the end.
yep. There was a lot of there was some little hiccups here and there, but I thought it was a good match, and I thought it was a good story leading for Alexa with the whole Uncle Howdy, the face mask, the dude with the random face mask, and then the screen blinking and her reacting, and her beating up the ref made me happy. So there we go. I like to see referees get beat up. It makes me laugh. Um, we go to Solo. Defeats Elias in a City Street fight.
So is this the first one of these he won? Wait, he
So
didn't even win. Never
no,
mind.
he didn't win.
Elias is 0 for 3, I think.
Yeah, because he fought Braun Strowman and lost.
I think twice in a
Yeah,
music theme matches.
yeah.
I think the first time he got beat with the giant cello, and I forgot what happened with the second one.
I don't remember either.
But yeah, I don't think he wins these.
It was good. I
Wait, wasn't
actually,
there one? Hold
huh?
on. Question. Wasn't there one of these with Shinsuke that it didn't have Elias? Like,
Mm,
didn't have Boogs on his side and
probably,
Shinsuke? Trying to remember. Anyway,
probably with Corbin. I don't
I
know.
can't remember. I know it was good guy Shinsuke with
Yeah,
Boogs.
yeah. I'm not sure. I had to look it up.
So, okay. Well, anyway, it was actually an entertaining match. But yeah. Yeah, he got dealt with.
Yes, yes. You got
Got
Sami
flattened on the
Zayn. Go
piano,
ahead.
son.
Huh?
No, I was just trying to say he got flattened on the piano, son.
There we go.
It, I got a question about 2K, the 2K games. Is this match type in those games?
No,
Should be.
next year,
Should be in the next one.
probably. Then we go into Sami Zayn, the Usos versus Kevin Owens and the Street Profits. This also all came from the beginning of Raw. Adam Pearce got pissed. He's like, if you're gonna interrupt, you're gonna actually work tonight. So he made Solo and the Usos work that night. Sami Zayn and the Usos defeat Kevin Owens and Street Profits, but then Sheamus and McIntyre come out and beat their asses.
Because they're shady, trying to pull a fast one with Solo on the outside. So they tried to make it 4-on-3.
Yep.
That's what happened. So they used the number to get the win, but they got consequences.
Yep,
So
yep.
there you go.
We got Dexter Lumis versus Chad Gable. Lumis wins.
I didn't see really any. I forgot what exactly started this match. Did they have any story stuff for it? No.
Not really.
Okay.
Not that I know of. I can't think of it right now.
Okay. It was a solid match. But I was just trying to remember if it was connected to the Miz or not. So no.
I have a feeling they did something the week before, and I just don't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Becky Lynch engages in a war of words with Damage Control and Bailey.
She was talking that yang. Is what she was doing. She's trying to get them to turn on each other.
Yep.
So we'll see.
It leads
I
into
thought it was good.
Go ahead.
I thought it was good.
Yeah. It leads into Dakota Kai and Io Sky defeat Becky Lynch and Mia Yim coming out, or whatever the fuck they want to call her right now.
I mean, she still has a name.
Mi Chang.
She just has a nickname.
But what's bothering me is the fact that, like, all right, so which one are you gonna go with, Mia Yim or Mi Chang? Because you're putting in Mi Chang on the Titantron, but you're still calling Mia Yim. You confuse me.
It's the thing that goes in front of her name.
Okay.
So like Seth has the freaking in the middle. She has the Michin in front of Mia. Yeah.
But the Mi
It means
Chang,
crazy.
but on her Titantron, Mi Chang is all front, and there's no Mia Yim in there.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But they still call her that every time they talk. They say her name on commentary.
Alright.
So
All right.
she didn't lose her name. She is not Riddle.
Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, it was a solid match though. I liked it.
It made sense for it to look a little shaky for Becky
Yeah.
to accept help because she did not ask for it. The whole point was it was supposed to be 2-on-1 because she wanted it that way. So
And
it's
then
interesting that she took the help.
Yep. And then our main event was Austin Theory versus Seth freaking Rollins for the U.S. title. Austin Theory wins. Great match.
Yes, sir. He did it on his own.
Yeah.
He's a slimy bastard. If the ref ain't looking, you better protect your crotch.
Yep. If honestly, I will say if Seth was in the same predicament, he would have done the exact same thing.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Yep. He probably would have done worse. There was a little scare of Seth Rollins actually being hurt. I actually thought he just sold it because he fucked up and he was like, oh shit, let me just sell it to make it look good. But he might actually be hurt with that knee.
Who knows?
So let's hope.
Theory also went for the leg. So
Yeah.
that couldn't have made it feel better.
Nope. So I'm hoping that he's not hurt. I'm hoping he was just selling it and that's what it was. But there was rumors of that he got hurt that night and there hasn't been no updates about it. So I'm not sure.
Well, what they showed me on TV is that man was limping. So
Yeah.
we'll see him when he comes back.
Yep. We go to NXT. We kick off with what do you give Monday Night Raw? Sorry.
I give it a solid A.
I give it a solid A as well. It was an entertaining show.
Mm-hmm.
We go to NXT. We kick off with Carmelo Hayes defeats Apollo Crews. I thought it was a great match.
That was one of the best matches I saw this week. That was a very good match.
Yeah. And then this dude comes in, helps Hayes, and they jump Apollo Crews, and Axiom comes in to help.
Yes, sir. Because he's tired of taking that crap. He's got a bone to pick with Mello and Trick Williams.
Yep. We got Dijak defeating Channing Stacks Lorenzo. He did it to himself.
Oh well, we forgot that led into the match.
Oh yeah.
With Trick.
Yep.
Which was also very good. Trick's looking better. I gotta say that.
Yeah, I forgot that led into a full
Trick's
match.
looking good in the ring. I thought the match was pretty good.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was good. Then it goes to Dijak versus Channing Stacks and Lorenzo.
He was fighting. Stacks was fighting for his life.
He brought it to himself.
He was fighting like he knew he messed up. He was like, damn it, if I don't try to kill this man in the beginning of the match, he's going to kill me. And that's what happened.
Yep.
Like, Stacks went in there, like, fist of fury, but it was not enough because Dijak murdered him.
Yep. Then we got D'Angelo save Stacks from the bigger beatdown. Challenge Dijak to a match next week.
Yes, sir.
His funeral.
Yes, sir.
There was a big thing going out backstage, and then all of a sudden, Abel Fire and Elsa Dawn just connected and actually had a match as well. The girls are all going crazy, having a fight, and then they just continued fighting.
Who is right now the current authority figure? Is it HBK?
I guess, but I don't think he just shows. I don't think he just does TV though.
Because it's just like, who's making these matches?
Yeah,
And where the rules at? What's going on?
yeah. They just let people fucking fight.
It's just
Um,
like, you know what? Let them kill each other.
I did like this match, Elbow Fire versus El Sadon. It just took
That makes sense.
it threw me off in the beginning just because I didn't know what that was going on, but it ended up being an actual fight,
Mm-hmm.
and it was good.
It was good. Yes, sir.
Um, Oro Masa versus Javier Bernal.
This was just a regular. Was this supposed to be his re-debut, right?
Yeah, re-debut.
Because
Yeah,
he hasn't been on the show for a while. Okay,
yeah, it was good.
so we got Big Body Javi out there. Who he's growing on me. He's growing on me.
Yeah, and he lost again.
Of course he did.
We got Drew Gulak defeat Andre Chase
So what is his motives now?
to yoke people.
Because I can see a little something of him collecting like the best technical guys.
Yeah.
Because if he got like Andre Chase, if he got Regal's son,
He should bring back
you know what
Thatcher.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Toothless aggression. The new toothless aggression. He ain't got no
But like
teeth.
if he grabs up all the technical guys, I can see them being like a really good stable.
Yep. Good match though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um. We go on to Kofi Kingston versus Joe Gacy.
This was an unexpected match.
Mm-hmm.
Very solid, very solid. Like, I
I
like it
love
a lot.
that when he did the Trouble in Paradise move, the SOS. Fucking Xavier yelled, "Shout out!"
He was doing it all week.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. It made me laugh. It caught me off guard. But I enjoyed the match. I thought it was really good. I like what Gacy's doing with the character now. Like, I actually see what they're doing with them, and it's being more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And then we end with the Grayson Waller effect with Steiner and Grayson fighting.
He came out his shoes when he was flying. It's
Yep.
crazy.
Killed
But
him, man.
Grayson Waller doing what he does best. He's
Yep.
mocking the champ.
Yep.
I'm just saying, don't build this up for nothing, man.
Yeah. NXT, what you give it?
I'm gonna give it a solid A.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of all the matches. Like, they kind of killed it this week.
Yeah, I agree. We go to AEW Dynamite, and this was in Seattle. We kick off with Ricky Stark versus Chris Jericho.
That was a good match. That
I
was
thought it
very
was solid.
solid.
Yeah,
It was very solid.
solid storytelling as well. And I actually think that him and Ricky Stark is gonna have a good rivalry.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
We got a health update on Hangman Page.
Which I know goes into some Moxley stuff later.
Yeah.
Which is good because it's continuing the story. So we'll see.
So I like the Acclaim. I don't like Jeff Jarrett. AEW making me watch Jeff Jarrett way too much, and I'm very annoyed by it. I don't like Jeff Jarrett. I really don't. I tried.
I thought the match was solid though. I didn't think it was bad at all.
I just I don't like Jarrett. I can't focus on it. But yeah, because they got 2 title shots. They fought here and they fought on fucking Rampage as well.
Well, that was part of the story of them losing this match though.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was bullshit. Why the referee decides to come out during that, but all the other bullshit they don't come out.
but I will tell you, it's inconsistent and consistent with every company.
Yeah.
There is no consistency with that. It just randomly happens all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. I just don't like Jarrett. I really don't. It was alright though. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? I would have been happy if they won because that's like the first actual surprise. Like
Yeah,
that's my problem with AEW is where the surprises at.
yeah. I think they did that mainly for the crowd participation than
Yeah,
anything.
I get
Yeah,
it. But like, I I'm just saying, surprise me once in a while.
yeah. We got Bryan Danielson versus Tony Nese.
I feel bad for Tony Nese. He deserves better.
Yeah,
He
but
just
he ain't
got
getting ready
murdered,
that.
man. He
Yeah,
just died.
he was not ready that.
I will say though, Smart Mark was doing his thing. So everything around this match, I love. Did you see the promo with Smart Mark?
Yeah.
Talking about Brian Daniels said, "Have you been injured by a dragon?"
Hmm.
These are like a lot of little things that he says is great. Is so good. But yeah, Tony needs to serve better.
You got Swerve Strickland versus Yara Fox. This is one of my favorite matches this week.
I think that was the match of the night for me. That was good. It was great. I I personally I want to see more of the feud because I knowing what I know now of how far they went in Lucha Underground,
Mm-hmm.
AEW is the place where they would let them do some crazy stuff. So go ahead. Like
I
I
love
want to
that
see him
match
do
too.
something.
I would say that's probably one of my top five matches of Lucha Underground is them two.
Hmm.
So I definitely enjoyed the match. I was very looking forward to it. I wish, honestly, and this is my only thing, is the fact that I don't care about his bodyguards, and honestly, I wish they weren't there, because I think them two one on one is just great enough. You don't need anything else after that.
I
That
get
was
it,
part
but
of the
I don't have
story.
that problem because
Yeah, that
I
was
know
part
I
of the story.
understand it's no, I because it's part of Swerve's character now.
Yeah,
So it's like it's not like he's still the Keith Lee Swerve. It's like all right, he moved on. That's all right.
yeah.
I wish he would change his gear because he's still wearing the riding gear,
Yeah, that's true.
and that's a part of Keith Lee. So like you gotta change that Swerve.
We got Jay Cargill and Red Velvet versus Kira Hogan and Sky Blue.
Again, it was all right. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't blowing the roof off or nothing. Again, but I give credit to the them pushing the story, so it's all right.
I still feel like Kara Hogan should be a lot more aggressive for her getting kicked out.
I mean, she is. It's just that she doesn't get to say nothing.
Yeah,
Still,
that's not her
still,
fault. That's like more on that's more AEW giving her the mic's time to actually say something.
they should. Yeah,
Yeah,
she should.
because I think it would be built better if they actually had that.
I mean, also, I think the other girls should be stating their motives because Red Velvet looking like she's a disobedient servant right now,
Yeah,
and it's like, well, what are you? Are you still with Jade or are you not? Because we don't get any sense of where your head is
we
at because
just
you
get
don't get to
facial
talk.
expressions, and that's about it. We don't get like actual them saying anything about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
this
kind
is
of
this is
annoying.
until this is from last week till well, this was from the week before
Yeah,
till last, and we didn't get a
and
promo from them.
Rampage. Yeah,
That's what
no,
I'm
Battle
saying.
for the
Yeah.
Belt. It was also Battle on the Belt.
Oh, they also continued on to
Yeah, yeah,
Friday.
yeah. And it was just
Yeah, I
her
didn't see that.
staring at her.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Okay.
And then our main event is Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship.
And that was a good ass match. He tried to kill that guy.
Yep,
You know what? Good on you, Samoa Joe. You tried to kill him.
they
You
tried to kill
lost,
him,
but you tried to kill
and
him.
I feel like Darby tried to kill him too.
Yeah, good.
He
That's
was
how it
like,
should
one
be.
of us gonna die.
That's how it should be.
New champ, Darby Allin, two-time TNT champion.
I I always give credit. Well, Darby earns the credit from me for every one of those matches where he fights with the odds clearly against him, and the people fighting against him they do a good job of making that a very believable David and Goliath situation.
Yeah, I think they did the Grant match well. I think it was one of the better matches on the card. Same thing with Swerve and AR Fox.
Hmm.
Those are
Yes, sir.
two of my favorite. It was a really solid card this week.
Yes, sir.
I go A minus.
I'm gonna go B plus
Yeah.
because nothing hit me that hard, but everything was super solid. I just would love them to give more a- attention to detail with that TBS view. Like a little more things would make it more enjoyable.
Yeah, I got you. I agree with that, especially with the TBS title. Like I feel like they could add a little bit more to that.
Hmm.
Um, we go into All right, so I don't think we had to go all into the card unless you watched it. But New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 17 was that morning of Wednesday. So I've watched the whole card. I'm not sure if you watched the whole thing.
No, I did not. I could not. Too much
Um,
wrestling. New Japan is long. New Japan shows are very
oh,
long.
they're fucking long. But I will say the few matches they had was worth watching. I will say Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ren Natara for the IWGP Television Champion. That was really good.
Hmm.
Um, you had the Women's Championship just because you have the debut of Mercedes Moné on New Japan Pro Wrestling. The match was very short though. I wish they actually had more time to actually showcase, but it was more to showcase Sasha Banks in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Very good to see. Miss
Um,
Monet. Yes, sir.
I'll say Takakashi. He's the IWGP Juniorweight Championship champion again. That was a hell of
Okay.
a match as well. I was very disappointed with Tamatonga and Carl Anderson. I thought that was gonna be a better match, but it had some good spots, but they botched the end.
Hmm. Say that again.
The Tamatonga versus Carl Anderson.
Oh, okay. Got
They
you. Got you.
botched the end. The match was alright. I think they could have did better with it, but yeah, they botched the ending.
What
Kenny
was it?
Omega, huh?
What was it? I didn't get to see it.
He fucked up the cutter.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What was it, like off the top rope or something?
Nah, it was a regular cutter, but like fucking Carl Anderson just went like weirdly sideways, and it just didn't look good.
I got you. Okay. Okay.
I'll say my match of the evening was Kenny Omega defeats Will Ospreay for the IWGP United States Championship. I think that was the best match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
They fucked each other
Very
up.
good. Very, very good. Kenny Omega was trying to kill.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Why does Kenny Omega just a better character in New Japan and Impact, but he can't be the same in AEW?
Because he's constantly. It's not the problem, but he's constantly involved with the elite. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
He's not himself. That's the whole thing. He's not. He's not the. He's technically not the leader of the elite
Yeah.
because they're all. You know how the way they play it is that they're all in charge, or there is no leader.
Yeah.
But when he's in Japan, technically he was the leader of Bullet Club. And when he's by himself, he's just by himself, and he's got Don Callis on commentary.
I
So
shout out to Don Callis. He made me laugh on commentating.
yes, sir, he was very good on commentary.
And then the main event was Okada defeats Jay White, and Okada is the winner, like for the 1000th time.
I see.
The match was good. I'm burnt out with Okada in the main event, just because it happens all the time. But that's their guy, I guess. But good. I think the match was solid though.
Mm-hmm.
So New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom, I'll give a B plus.
Okay.
There was a lot of things that could have been like I think the women's match could have been more timier, just the fact that this was the first and this was the historic match, and I think you should have gave them time. Other than that, because there were some matches you could have easily cut time off and added to that match.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
just me. Other than that, it was a good show. We go to Friday night SmackDown. And we kick off with Roman Reigns abolished Baron. They call it decimated Sami Zayn in front of the bloodline. That was a great promo. That was a good character story and story building, so I give credit for that.
True. That's true.
We got Santo Escobar defeats Kofi Kingston with the help of with his crew.
But you better be there and do something. Don't don't just let your man lose.
Yeah.
Also a very good match.
Very good match. We got Karrion Kross and Scarlett defeats Madcap Moss and Emma. This is the first action debut of Scarlett actually wrestling in WWE.
Good stuff.
She
It
was
wasn't
good.
that much. She didn't get to do that much,
Yeah,
but it was she obviously knows what she's doing. She's
your mic went dumb.
Hello?
Yeah,
You still hear me?
you better. Yeah, you went muffled and shit.
Okay. I wonder why they didn't uh let her wrestle when she was in NXT.
I think they was working on that, but they didn't get a chance to get her in the ring. She did house shows.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, she did wrestle. She had wrestled in a lot of indies. She also wrestled in Impact as well. She was pretty solid.
Hmm.
We have Charlotte Flair defeats Serena Deville and retain her SmackDown Women's Championship.
I mean, it was whatever. I'm mad. It was just a beatdown.
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't really. Sonya, Sonya came out there and tried to, but she got dealt with very quickly.
yeah,
It's like once Charlotte realized what was happening, the match was over because
yeah,
she tried to ambush her.
yeah.
So
Yeah, Ricochet defeat Top Dollar for the Royal Rumble qualifying match, and then after the match, Top Hit Row jumped Ricochet and was saved by Braun Strowman. Y'all just made some bad enemies. You know that?
Well, I think it was a good move for Hit Row because like I feel like they're better as being bad,
Yeah,
being
they need
jerks.
something. They need to change a character because the crowd wasn't going with them.
Well, just being a rap group, unless you guys are men on a mission, it's just like you don't. That doesn't. It's not really positive faces. You know what I'm saying? Usually
No,
people
our
think rap they're
truth.
like show offs and they're stunting and they're doing taking shady things. I don't mean they don't all have to be like Crime Time or something like that.
Prime
But I'm
time is
just
great.
saying, yeah, but they were more comedy. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying you don't all have to be that
No, I got
to
you.
be hip hop.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? So I think it's better that also I think it's better that they just go back to having the diss raps
yeah.
on the show.
No,
Like when they're coming out to the ring or something, like or in the back as their promos, because they are good at doing that together. So
yeah.
solid match though.
And then our main event is the Usos defeat Drew McIntyre and Sheamus for the Undisputed Tag Team
Also,
Championship.
somebody's got to shave their beard. There's too many bald beard men.
Uh oh. Yeah, Braun Strowman looks like a giant version of Ricochet.
And so does Top Dollar.
And Top Dollar looks like he ate Ricochet.
So I'm just saying, there's too many bald. There's too many bald beard men.
Yeah, y'all
Come
all
on,
looking
guys.
alike now. Yep, we finish our show with Usos versus Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Solid match.
The Banger Bros.
The banger.
They what are you guys doing? Cut that out. Cut it out.
I was
And
like, y'all know
and,
what y'all doing.
and McIntyre and Sheamus that just keep on plugging away at it too. They lost a match and they still talking about it. I'm like, you guys, you gotta Sheamus with the poll. Which vehicle should we drive? And everybody picked the bus. Come on, man. What are you guys doing? Stop it. Stop.
They know what
No.
they doing.
I don't even know if that's PG.
It is
So
unless you really talk about it.
what was they doing on that bus? That
Driving.
handful of money. Well, she said, yeah. All right, listen, you guys. It was a good ass match.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just put it this way. I get it's not in the cards right away,
Hmm.
but it wouldn't have surprised me if they won, if it was
Yeah.
those two. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I agree. I agree.
They set them up nice. You know what I'm saying? So
Um, I did watch Rampage. Oh, where you get SmackDown? Sorry.
I give it a A-. I think it wasn't like the best SmackDown. The
Yeah.
best. It wasn't the best show this week. I think Raw was slightly better.
Okay. I go A. I go solid A. Like I actually like the main event. I actually liked some of the storyline stuff they had, so I give credit. I also like the Liv Morgan's promo for the Royal Rumble. I like the little promos they had with some characters for the Royal Rumble as well. We go to I watched AEW Rampage and Battle for the Belts. The first match we had Top Flight versus John Moxley and Bryan Danielson. I thought the match was solid. I wish Top Flight will actually. So I wish they just sold more and just not get up so fast. And also their facial expressions just look dumb. They look and not like they don't show emotion in when they're fucking taking anything. So that kind of annoys me. Other than that, it was a solid match. Yeah, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus the Renegades, which I guess they're twins. It was a shit show kind of a match. Like it was a lot of botching in it, but it was supposed to showcase Britt Baker and Hayter, so it built their characters, but the match wasn't that great. Um, you had Pedro Pelasco, whatever the fucking name is. Preston Vance, that's his name. He going by a Spanish name now. He too white to be Spanish right now. Um, Match was just a beatdown. Suppose that he took the guy's mask off. And then the main event, Darby Allin working double time. He worked Darby Allin versus Mike Bennett. I think that was the best match of Rampage. No solid match. Then you go to AEW Battle for the Belts. You have Acclaim versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Acclaim wins the match. Wasn't as good as Dynamite, but it was an okay match. I like when Caster just like jumped out the ring and slapped a big dude in the face. That made me laugh. Jake Cargill versus Sky Blue. The match wasn't the greatest, but the finish was. I actually give credit because the finish actually looked really cool, so I give credit with that. But the match itself wasn't that great. Sky Blue is another thing with Top Flight. She doesn't show emotion or pain in her face. She just shows and just has like a dumbfound face when she takes a bump. See, now I'm going into more into the detail of the people. And then the main event was Orange Cassidy versus Kip Sabian for the All Atlantic Championship. I actually thought Chris Sabian might have won that match, but it was a solid match. It had a solid story. They beat down Dan Housen for no reason. I feel bad for him because he got his ass kicked by everybody. Everyone was jumping on him. Other than that, it was a solid match and ended pretty well. So I'll give that
Wait,
some credit.
so he was on Impact and he was on. Well, I know Impact is tape, but I'm just saying.
Dynamite,
So
yeah.
he
Him
was on Dynamite.
and Darby did double time.
Oh, okay.
But
Cool.
but technically Rampage and Battle for the Belts was a separate show because Dynamite was in Washington and that was in Portland.
Okay, gotcha.
So they were separate shows. I'll give Rampage a B. I'll give Battle for the Belts. I'll give it a B as well. Like I'll go B minus. The tag team match I thought it could have been better. It was better on Dynamite than it was here, and I don't need to see Jeff Jarrett going for the tag titles anymore. They lost twice. They don't need to go again. Just saying. All right. I guess we go to our.
Oh, you didn't see Impact, did you?
I did see Impact.
We didn't do
Oh,
Impact.
I forgot that. My bad. Sorry, Impact. I apologize. I usually just don't watch it. So like, I actually watched this week. I was surprised I did. Um, I'm actually looking forward to the pay per view. To be honest with you, I think the pay per view is gonna be really good. But where is it? Where's the results? Where are the results? We kick off. What's that? Is this?
The first week is Wild and Masha
Yeah,
is the first match, and then it should go from there.
yeah. They're giving me like other dates. Sorry.
All right. Well, I know the first match was those two, which
Yeah,
was
that was actually really good.
that was a great women's match. I'm not too familiar with Taylor Wilde. I think she used to be a sailor when she was there before.
Yeah,
I
she
swear she used
was.
to have sailor outfit on.
Yeah.
And then I know after that they went into the Bully Ray story, and Scott D'Amore came out and he got powerbombed through a tape
Yeah.
for his efforts.
Yeah, Black Taurus versus Anthony Green. That was pretty solid.
It was a solid match. Yeah. I know he comes around from all types of different places. I know he was on Dynamite too. He was in NXT, Anthony Gray.
Yes, he was. He was in Evolve as well. I remember.
Okay, gotcha.
Was it here? No, it wasn't. We had a promo from Kenny King attacking Mike Bailey.
He went to his school and beat up his
Yep,
students.
yep. That's how
That was
you
funny.
do it. That's how you make yourself serious. Then you had John Grisham versus Ernest R. Anthony. Solid match. He crab man him.
Hmm.
Um, the design, I actually like their promos. It looks they're looking very interesting. The digital media champion Joe Henry versus with Moose.
Oh,
That
that
shit
was
was fucking
great.
hilarious.
That was my favorite thing of Impact
The
was
dancing
how,
moves.
how much dancing moves and the whole song he made. He
Yeah.
made a song. It was so all right. That was good.
Cardona versus Chris Sabin. I thought the match would have been better if Cardona would have won. Just I'm biased, and I will say that clearly.
Yes, sir.
And then
And
Bully Ray was in the ring, and this is when Scott D'Amore got thrown to a table. As he deserved it. I feel like he deserved it.
I think they did a pretty good tribute to Don West this week because they
Yes, I
actually
liked it.
took out a chunk of the time and had people speak on him and the moments and whatnot. It was like the one thing I will say that he always deserves the credit for is his enthusiasm and the hype.
Yeah,
Was like when something popped off and you hear the Don West, the oh my god,
yeah,
because I just remembered that's his voice with the Elix Skipper off the top of the cage. And I'm
yeah,
like, yeah. You think back, you hear the call, and it's like, yeah, it's stuck, it's burnt in your head now if you hear that.
yeah.
So,
Rest in peace, Don
R.I.P.
West. I did like that. I also liked the Mickey James story too.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That was like 7 minutes. They had a
Yeah,
whole thing with her entire career.
that was really
So
good
that's
too.
cool too. Which means she's gonna lose.
Yep,
She's
she's
not beating Jordan. I'm telling you.
she's gonna do something.
Because well, I mean, you know what time of the year it is. If she's gonna be in the Royal Rumble, she's not gonna be the champ, is she?
Maybe again. She was the Royal Rumble champion. She was a champion
That
last
is
year.
true. That is true. That is true. You right. You don't do that, Mark. Come on.
She did it last year.
I don't want Jordan to lose. Is what I'm saying.
Why is Sheamus making angels in his underwear?
Because he lost to Bailey,
Yeah,
and then it turns out she cheated and tricked him.
yeah,
Watch the Celtic Warrior.
yeah.
That was a good
I'm
episode.
watching in a mute though, so I
That
just
was a
see.
good episode.
Why are you in
Also,
the underwear?
she made him fart
Yeah,
because she pushed him too hard. That was hilarious. It's a good episode.
yeah. Bailey's evil.
Yes, she is.
All right. That's the week of wrestling. Impact. I'll actually give a solid A. Like it was. One thing I give Impact a lot of credit is that they helped me keep in track with the story, even if I haven't watched in a few weeks. They keep me updated to it, and I give them a lot of credit for that.
I'll give it an A-. I
Yeah,
think all the matches were very solid. I think the story with Bully Ray is compelling.
yeah,
But I'm telling you that Joe Henry and the Moose thing has got me like I'm excited for their
yeah.
match.
That was funny. That was very
And the
funny.
Mickey James and the Don West stuff was like they put effort into that stuff, and I appreciate it. So
Yeah.
good.
All right. We go to our. So we had did a. I put up made a list of things that we could do a year end kind of thing for 2022 and our favorite things of 2022. I got my opinion, your opinion, and I got two people. Shout outs to Menu with the Opinion, and shout outs to my buddy Ty. He runs a TikTok called Wrestling Memes, Wrestling Sims on TikTok. So definitely check him out. He does a lot of wrestling reviews and things like that. So check him out when you get a chance. And send him I sent you, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to the categories and see what we have. So, your top five male wrestlers of the year.
Okay, top five males. Do I have to do it in order? Do I have to put them in one?
I will say in order would be better, but if you don't want to put it in order, that's fine. But it has to be five.
All right. Well, five is easy.
Yeah,
Uh, the order is the hard part. So,
yeah. I fought with
uh,
that many times.
I think certain people, if you look at the actual matches they had, I think some people had way better years than others, and that's what makes it more difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I got I'll put him in the most recent because his shine came more towards the end, I think, although he was doing good all year, and that's Grayson Waller.
Yeah. Oh,
Um, number f- Going up, see, I don't want to just say number four. You know what I mean?
okay. Yeah.
I think he had one of the best years he's ever had as a singles wrestler, and I'm gonna say Dax
Okay.
is four. I think this person had some of the most consistent television matches this entire year, and I'm gonna say Brian,
Okay.
number three. Um, it's hard. From here is real difficult. You know what? Number one, I'm just gonna say Seth Rollins.
Okay. I agree. That's a
Seth
good one.
Rollins for the entire year has been just the most menacing villain in all of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
To so many different people, you got to remember how many people he messed with. Remember the thing with Riddle? That was this year. I
Yeah.
mean, that was last year, right? Rather, like it. He has so many people shook and ready to kill him. It's kind of crazy. Um, and then I know I want to say Sheamus. I still say he has the moment.
Yeah.
I want to say Roman because it's been Roman's year, but like he hasn't had that many matches. But I will say Gunther,
Gunther. That's a good one.
Gunther in there as
Yeah.
having like the quality.
Yeah.
It's just up there within the variety of opponents too.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, because he has NXT opponents early the
Yeah.
year too.
Yeah.
So he fought
That's the thing.
Steiner. He fought like a lot of those NXT guys as well. So yeah, I agree with Gunther. So
It's hard. Can I give uh um what is it? What you say? Mention?
yeah, honorable mention.
Honorable mention Roman.
Okay.
Honorable mention Sheamus. Um, honorable mention Sammy because I didn't
Okay.
put Sammy in the top five.
Okay. So I'm gonna give the two that my two buddies theirs first, and then I'll put mine. So my buddy Ty, he has male wrestlers. He has Seth Rollins number one, Roman two, Moxley three, Josh Alexander four, and he has Will Ospreay / Jay White five.
Okay.
Minion, on the other hand, he has Josh Alexander as number one,
Hmm.
Speedball Mike Bailey number two,
Okay.
Sami Zayn number three, Gunther number four, and Seth Rollins number five.
Okay. Okay.
Mine will be Seth Rollins number one,
Hmm.
as I agree with everything you said, and I'll add that to that. Like he's been, no matter what storyline you put him in, he was gold. Even if he lost the storyline, he came out the winner because he was the one that was most watched, or
That's
you were
true.
waiting for his crazy antics and things like that. This man wore a lingerie suit and they rocked that shit. I can't give no one credit for that shit.
That's
So
true.
it is what it is, man. Seth Rollins is number one for me. He kicked ass this year, and I hope he is not hurt, and I hope he can continue kicking ass.
He cosplayed Nikki Bella.
Yes, yes, he did,
Funny.
and rocked it.
Yes, sir.
I put Roman number two. And
Okay.
my reason why Roman number two is that he's been probably part of the most consistent story throughout 2022.
Mm, mm, mm.
Without Roman in there, the story won't work. Roman, his moments every time he has a promo, when he has to get angry, when he's fucking pissed, when he's laughing. I think all those moments mean something to me. Like honestly, a lot of those things, especially even last week, even right before the ending of the year, and just his promo just brings it up. The matches he had were worth watching as well, and they were all memorable. Him versus McIntyre, him versus Lesnar, the ring fucking flipping and shit like that. I gotta give
Mhm.
Roman credit when credit's due.
Mhm.
Josh Alexander is my number three. I think he, by himself, has the most consistent good matches of the year. Like he has a
Okay.
lot of good
Okay.
matches this year.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of TV matches, there's a lot of before impact matches, even when he was not champion. he has a consistent run of matches a year. And the crazy shit is, I rewatched a bunch of shit just to see where he like I was like he's gonna be in my top three. I just don't know where, but I say Roman just because his stature and WWE stature, it just makes him more important to the show. Like he is the main dude of the show. Seth
Mm-hmm.
Rollins is like that too. So basically, Josh Allen is number three. Gunther's number four because as I'm saying how consistent Josh Alexander was, Gunther was as equally as consistent as he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Sami Zayn because number five. Sami Zayn started with the Jackass match and fucking been killing it since.
Yeah. I agree.
I
I agree.
can't like deny that. So that's my five. Um, top female wrestlers of the year.
Do you have an honorable mention from this?
Honorable mention, I will give the Usos. I'll give my honorable. Yeah, Usos are gonna give because Jay working by himself. Jimmy working by himself. They've been killing the matches. They've been main eventing and all that stuff. Mike Speedball Bailey, I gave him a lot of credit because, so shockingly, I like a lot of his matches, even though he
True.
still weirds me out with that mullet. But he has kick ass matches. Daniel Bryan and John Moxley. I gotta give love to them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, top female wrestlers.
Number one is Manny, regardless.
Yes,
I think she had the best year, the most consistent like growth of anybody.
I agree.
Like I'm sure, I think you could say technically Bianca had the better year because she went through way more. She got the championship. She had the bigger moments, right? But I just feel like from start to finish, I mean, even though the finish was terrible, like Manny just had so many marquee moments and was like the leader of a whole brand.
I agree.
I think for the majority of the year. That's number one. With a bullet. Number two is gonna be it's a little biased. Um, and I'm gonna have to say because you made me reconsider,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to go back and look at the body of work of some of the people, and I'm gonna say Jordan Grace is my number two because again she's also consistent.
She was busting her ass this year too.
She's also had marquee matches that were the high key for impact.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing. Um, she had some of my favorite women's matches this year. Her and Masha tried to kill each other on live television.
A
So I
few
would take
times. Not more than once.
so there's that like ridiculous. And she had some matches that I think that they'll stand the test of time because that the X Division match that they had last year, like
Yeah.
kind of a historic thing in general. Like, dare I say that's probably like the best intergender match in a little while. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, um, number three. Here's where it gets more skewed towards just who I like, because I know certain people should be higher or whatever. Um, Number three is Rhea
Yeah.
because I think she's part of what carried the Judgment Day.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I think Mommy became a character and like solidified that entire like persona of that part of that just is it's real. We know she wears the leather and the spikes, but like this version of her, I think is like the ultimate version of that Rhea.
No, I agree with that. I agree.
And I mean, yes, she did not win any championships, right? I don't think so, but she was whooping ass the entire year. So like, number four, I'm gonna say Bailey because I think for me one of my favorite moments of the entire year is when she came back.
I agree with that.
Uh, I was waiting so long for her to come back, and then since she's been running with her own faction now, and Damage Control is kind of like they're one of like the most central women stories. I guess I get there's Becky. Oh, they trying to have a party out here.
Yeah.
But like I think that she's kept Damage Control at the forefront.
Yep.
Kept them on like every show. Also, you kind of have to give them a lot of credit because they work both shows.
Yeah.
It's messed up. It's messed up, but it's true. So
Yeah.
they've been doing double duty. So she's number what did I say number four.
Yeah.
Um, And I'm about to say Bianca number 5
Okay, respect.
because again, she's just done the damn thing, consistent for the entire year. Bust her ass. She's fought everybody.
Yep.
She's had matches that you wouldn't think she would have. She was in War Games, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Like she's just done different things and basically overcame everything. So like I can't really deny that much. Um, I feel bad because I would have said this. I would have predicted this to be Rose's year. So I'm gonna say my what do you call them? Honorable mentions
Mm,
is one is Rosa. I feel like her year got cut short, so I couldn't put her in
yeah.
the 5. But like I felt like it was leading up to her winning the belt and everything. I was like, oh, this is gonna be her year. I think she deserved it. It's unfortunate. Number 2, Jamie Hayter because she stepped out of her shadow, and people see how good she is. And then to round it out, I'm gonna say Masha
Okay.
because she's also had some of the best matches and the craziest matches of last year.
Yeah. Cool. All right, I'm gonna shout out minions and ties real fast. I think we'll do like half of them and then half of them next week, so we can
Mm-hmm.
actually get into like what we want to talk about. So I'll do the tag teams and moments, and then the rest we'll save for next week. Cool.
Okay.
So we'll
Yes,
go
sir.
like crazy long. All right, so minions shout out Jordan Grace number 1, Mandy number 2, Rhea number 3, Masha Slamovich number 4, and he couldn't pick a number 5, so he got that blank.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right, let's go to his, and he picked and then this is ties. Ties picked Bianca Belair number 1, Mandy number 2, Rhea Ripley number 3, Jamie Hayter number 4, and Kari Sane number 5.
Okay. Okay.
I got rock with Kari Sane. I actually like that pick. Mine's was Mandy Rose number 1, Jordan Grace number 2, Belair number 3, Snamovich number 4, and Bailey number 5.
Okay. Good stuff.
I will like to shout out. I'll give credit to credit's due because I feel bad that got she didn't get the title run that she deserves. Liv Morgan.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought she was buzzing her ass in the beginning of the year. She had a really good beginning of the year, and then they fucked it up.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. That's true.
Becky wasn't here a lot this year, but when she was, she made noise. So I give
Yeah.
love to Becky as well. And on Jamie Hayter, I think she improved a lot. Still has work for me to do. I feel I was disappointed with Tony Storm, and I wanted to put it this, but I was not crazy about Tony Storm in AEW.
I
So
don't think she had the best opponents
yeah,
at all times. And then when certain people were healthy, I think it was she wasn't having the matches with them. Because I think
yeah,
I will say her match with the doctor, no,
yeah,
not doctor, the professor,
yeah,
Deeb,
yeah,
like stuff like that was good. But
yeah,
like, and Deeb is another one, but she disappeared.
yeah.
So
And then I'll shout out Athena. Cause I just like seeing
I
her
think that
bust.
attitude change is a
I like
beautiful.
just seeing her beat the shit out of people. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Hey, shout out to Athena. I think she has good. She's gonna have a good year next year.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna go to our top tags. We'll do our top female tags, and I'll say moments of the year, and then we'll say the rest for next week.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's go to top tag teams.
So for me, it's the Usos.
Yeah,
That's number
I
one.
think that's decisive for everybody.
Okay. Okay. Number two, I'm gonna say Pretty Deadly because they were incredible this entire year. They had me laughing. They had me like, excited for them to win, for them to
I
lose. Like,
wish you watched some of the UK stuff of Pretty Deadly because I think you would have enjoyed the shit out of them.
okay. Okay. Oh, I can see. I can see that now. So I believe that. So yeah, number two is Pretty Deadly. Number three is the New Day because they've been consistent, but they haven't been up to that level because they have not been in the spotlight
Yeah,
this year. So, but
now they are.
still the matches they've been having, ridiculous. That match was pretty deadly, like you said. That is one of the best tag team matches of the year. It just is.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, we'll show, I'll show love to that another day, but yeah,
it is, yeah, it is. Number three, excuse me, number four, Street Profits,
okay,
because they were involved in some of the best tag team matches this year. They had some of the best television tag team matches this year. I will definitely put that out there.
yeah,
Even though they had a little bit of time off, it wasn't that long when you think about it.
yeah,
When you put two and two together and add it up, it's like they weren't even that gone for that long.
yeah,
And
I
they've
agree.
still been having ridiculous matches. Like I don't think I would say they're the most underrated tag team of last year. I have to put that out there. And I think the last one I'm gonna say Swerve in Our Glory.
Okay,
Swerve in Our Glory.
that was one of my honorable mentions.
Like I would put FTR. See, I want to. You know what? It's a tie. 5 is a tie. FTR, Swerve in Our Glory.
Okay, I accept that.
And then the honorable mention is the Acclaim.
Okay,
You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
sounds good. All right, I'll rock ties real fast. So his tags are Usos, FTR, the Briscoes, MCMG, and Claimed.
Okay.
Motor City Machine Guns, if you don't know
Mhm.
what that is. Um, let's go to Minions. Minions tag teams are, well, his favorite is Pretty. He loves Pretty Deadly. He's the one that really pushed me to watch Pretty Deadly, and I actually really enjoyed him. So Pretty Deadly is number one, FTR is number two, The Acclaim is number three, Usos number four, and New Day is number five.
Okay.
My tag teams are Usos number one, FTR number two, Pretty Deadly number three, The Acclaim number four, New Day number five, and my honorable mention was Street Profits and Swerve to Our Glory.
Okay. Okay.
I personally have not watched the Briscoe matches with FTR, so I don't have an opinion on that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Until I watch it, then I may have an opinion. But I watched one of them and I liked it, and I give them credit, but I'm not gonna put them on my thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Women's tag teams. Not a lot of them.
Can we just say top 3?
You get the top three.
Because I don't have a top. I mean, top 5 is stretching it.
I actually have a five, so
Yeah, I don't have a top 5.
yeah.
I would have to stretch the qualifications too hard and just start picking people. You know what I mean?
The crazy thing is, Ty, I think he only has three as well, and I think Minion only has three.
My number 1 is Damage Control
Okay.
for the year. Damage Control. Number 2 is I would say Sasha and Boston Glow.
Okay.
Like for favorite. I'm sorry I did not really. Asuka and Alexa didn't catch me. And I would say, I guess I would say Hater and Jamie. I mean Hater and whatchamacallit, Britt.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, Toxic. Yeah, I guess Toxic Attraction would be number 1. I should change that around.
Yeah.
Toxic Attraction would be number 1, and then it goes from there. Damage Control, and then everybody else. So
Okay.
yeah, Toxic Attraction. Yeah.
So I'll rock everyone else's first, and then I'll put mine. So Minions is Carter and Katana. Toxic Attraction
I
and
forgot about it.
and the Death Dolls.
Yeah, throw them in my list at the end.
Yeah, there you go. And then I got Ties, and his was, he also didn't have many tag teams. So he had Toxic Attraction, Damage Control with a question mark, and Katana and Carter. My 5 tag teams is Toxic Attraction is number 1, Carter and Katana is number 2, Diana and Chelsea is number 3, Demon Dolls is number 4, and Damage Control is number 5.
Okay. I forgot. I did not see many of the Demon Doll, the Dead Doll, their matches. So.
And Diana and Chelsea, I think, work perfect together.
That is true.
And this will be our last category that we will do this week, and the rest of them we will do next week. So stay tuned for that. Just so we don't go super long.
Hmm.
So we're gonna go. Do you? All right. So I'll let you pick. You want best moment, best pay per view, or
I have best match. I
best
have the
match? Or
match.
you want to do
That's all I
matches?
have
All right. Let's do
for
matches.
men's and women's.
So best match men's, and then we have a separate one for women.
Okay.
Okay. So top five matches.
Number one is Gunther and Sheamus, regardless. Clash
Okay.
at the Castle. Um, Number two is very difficult, but I have to go back and I gotta give it to Roman versus Seth
Okay.
at Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
That match for me that was just like Seth at his finest.
Yeah.
Um, that's two. Number three, I'm gonna go Dax and Bryan.
Okay. Let's
For
go.
me, that was one of Dax's best matches, one of Bryan's best matches. Great. Number four, I'm gonna go uh NXT Deadline Men's.
Okay. Iron Survivor.
Iron Survivor. Yeah,
That was a good one.
that that surprised the hell out of me. It was worth it. It was worth it. And number five, I'm gonna pick. It's rough. I was gonna say Mox and Hangman when he knocked him out. Um, I forget the CM Punk matches happen.
Yeah.
That's the thing in my head. I forget about that.
Because him and Dax had a great one too.
They did have a good. I was about to say that's one of the
And
ones I
then
liked.
Punk
I'm,
and
I
MJF,
liked
the
him.
dog collar
Yeah,
match.
I was gonna say I liked him and MJF the dog collar match. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with him and Dax.
Yeah.
Part of me, I was like, well, and here's my okay. I took one out for that match, but I have to give credit to that one. That's number five. My what is it?
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention is Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle
Nice.
at Clash.
That was good.
That was a good match.
Good drama match. I wasn't watching a match, but it was a good drama.
God, yo, when he started making them sing in the middle of the match,
Yeah.
come on, man, he was on something else. And I know Cody in the Chamber was a great match, but for me, it just Seth had so many other
Yeah.
amazing matches that year.
Okay. Um. So we have the top matches in categories. So we have men's, women's, and then tag team. I wanted to give love to tag teams because there are some really good
Yeah,
tag
yeah,
team
yeah.
matches
Yes,
this year
so
that I
it's that one,
wanted
yeah.
it had to have its own category.
You're right.
So we'll do that. So we got so I'll rock Josh's matches, Minions matches real fast. So his matches, number one is Josh Alexander versus Speedball. Two is Josh Alexander versus Frankie Kazarian. Three is Gunther versus Sheamus. Four is Roman versus Logan Paul. And five is Trey versus Black Taurus in Impact.
I can see that. Okay, okay.
Let me get this kid's shit real fast. Oh, damn it. And this is Ties. His first Gunther versus Sheamus, Clash of the Castle. Seth versus Cody, Hell in a Cell. MJF versus Moxley, AEW World Title. Braun Breaker versus Ejad Ragovich versus JD McDuggan, NXT
Oh
World
yeah, I
Title.
forgot
That
about
was a
that.
really good one, so I give
I
him credit for
forgot
that.
about that.
And he put FTR Briscoes, but he didn't know the tag team
Oh yeah,
category
yeah.
at the time, so that's what he put.
Mm.
Um, I'll put mine five right now. So mine's number one is Gunther versus Sheamus IC title clash. That was like one of my favorite matches this year. Cody, Seth, Hell in a Cell. I love the story. I'm not the biggest. I'm not a big Cody fan whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
but I gave him so much credit for the story they told, and
Yep,
Seth was the evil bastard in that match. So I give
yep.
him credit. So I gotta put that love in there for that match. I have Tyler Bate versus Dragunov NXT for the
Okay.
NXT UK title.
Okay.
I have Alexander versus Speedball Impact. That was an amazing match and very technical and very had everything I wanted in the match. And I gotta give love for Roman versus Drew McIntyre and Clash.
Okay.
That
Okay.
match was very rough, very vicious and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it. And my honorable mention will be Ricochet versus Gunther on the
Okay.
SmackDown a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
That match was fucking fantastic.
Also, Ricochet versus Santos in the finals.
That was good
That was
too.
another one.
Yeah. And then you could put your women's one, and that's where
Women's,
we'll end off.
that's it. All right. So for me, number one is Bandy and that three-way to
Yep.
unify
I think we
the
agree with that.
UK,
Yeah.
and the UK and the NXT championships. Number two is Masha versus Jordan, Bound for Glory.
Yep.
Number three is Masha versus Ali Catch in they call it Pick Your Poison match, but it was the Monsters Ball match
Yeah. That was
for
crazy.
last year. Still, that match is like that is crazy. Number number four, I'm gonna go Bianca versus Bailey at Crown Jewel
Okay.
because that match was a moment.
That
It
was a
was
good match.
ridiculous.
That was a good match.
That was like a me match. That was if I made a match, yeah, everything's getting used, the go kart, all that stupid stuff.
Yeah.
It was great. And number five, I was asking because I wanted to find out, and for me, it was one of Rhea's best matches, the Gauntlet match that she had on Monday Night Raw on Valentine's Day,
Yes. That was a good one.
12/14. It was a
Yeah.
very, very good match. She busted that ass and lost to Bianca. So
Yep.
yes.
Let me see if these guys have the women's matches. No, they don't have the women's matches up. So
Oh, and the honorable mention, like I said, for the moment was Britt versus Thunder Rosa in the cage
okay.
when Rosa won.
Minion has the women's 5 matches. So Minion has Masha Jordan Bound for Glory. He has Masha versus Jordan Part 2, the street fight. He has Bianca Becky Mania. He has Jamie Hayter's Tony Storm, and he has Masha versus Ellie Catch. No holds bar. The same match you could pick.
Mm-hmm.
Mine be on the top of the list. So I have Mandy, Miko, and Belair, UK and Women's Champion Unification match. That match was fantastic, and showcased the star power of Mandy Rose and why she's our favorite this year. Jordan Grace, Slamovich, Bound for Glory 2022. I think that was a hell of a match. Becky versus Belair, WrestleMania Night 1. I think that was one of my favorite matches of WrestleMania. That was not a gimmick match or like comedic match. That was like actually one of the first main serious matches in that show that I liked. Because I liked the Jackass match and I also liked the Austin and KO shit. That shit was, I think those were my favorite things on that WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And those are not like the greatest matches, but they were fucking hell of a moments.
They're moments. Yep.
I want to give shout outs to the Women's Iron Survivor match. I thought that match was very well done, and they did a really good job in really selling me in that match. So I'll give credit to that match. And then Queen of the Mountain match, Slammiversary. That was the when Jordan Grace won the title.
Okay, gotcha.
So those are my top 5. So the rest of the list we'll do next week on our cast because we still have the top 5 moments, the best promotions. We have top 5 tag team matches. We have top 5 characters to look up, people to look out for. Top 5 most improved, underrated, and overrated. So we'll get into that next week.
Okay.
So shout outs we go to the podcast we listen to. I didn't listen to a lot this week because there was like holidays and a bunch of mixed straps. So I've been kind of caught up. Should. And also, I don't think a lot of people posted up new cast. So
I did hear some. I saw Jericho had a good one with Double J,
okay.
which is like you could, say what you will about Double J. Listen to him talk about things, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot of verifiable history, because obviously you can look up everything he's talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, there's a lot of stuff that guy was involved in or helped with that if it wasn't for him, that's why I give him the credit. Like stuff wouldn't be as good as it was, as is. because sure, he wasn't the best, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And the other one I heard was the After the Bell with Ric Flair, which is
Okay.
just how can you hate Ric Flair? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Just listening to him talk for like what 20 minutes is just like, God damn it, Rick. Glad he's still with us. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I listened to Flair After the Bell. I think that's all I really listened to this week. And all shout outs to Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. They did the top figures of 2022 this week, so definitely check that podcast out. So Jericho, I'll listen to it when I get a chance. I don't like the guy, but I'll still listen to it. Like I don't like him as a wrestler, so I just don't
Yeah,
care. So
I
when
get
he's
that.
on TV, he's vanilla as hell to me. But I respect his historic mentality and like the things he did for the business as well. So
Mhm.
I don't have like a bias in that sense. Um, yeah, that was a small. It was short. It was a small like casting because of holidays and everything. All right. Last but not least, we have the wrestling retrospect, and it's your choice this week. Who you got?
You know what? We're gonna do some service to the guy who did so well last year for Impact Wrestling, and I want to pick Josh Alexander.
Oh shit. Okay.
So the bar has to be no matches from 2022
No matches from 2022. Okay.
because we know how good he was last year.
He has
So
some really good tag shit with Ethan Page.
Ethan Page, yeah, I remember. I
And
remember that.
last year he had one with my guy, Kurt Hawkins or
Okay,
Brian
okay.
Myers. Yeah. He
But
did
yeah,
the Iron Man
yeah.
match before the Impact.
So he's one of those people that was under my radar for before 2022.
Okay.
Like I knew he was there and I know who he was, but again, I don't know him that well.
Okay.
So let's get to know Josh Alexander.
Yeah. I'm all for it. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. This is the Wrestling Battle Podcast. Thank you for listening. You can catch our cast on easiest ways on Spotify, Red Cyclone Inc. Easy way to get there. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch. All Mark with the Mic. SoundCloud is the easiest way to get also our cast. You can listen on there and also Spotify. Um, and follow Red Cyclone Inc.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure you follow us anywhere and everywhere. Red Cyclone Inc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. That is YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. And we got a WordPress, so
Yep.
check it out.
Yep. All right. Peace out later, and always remember, follow the Jinkies.
He's hung.